What is up, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt. It's been a while. Well, it feels like it's been a while. I know Derek's been posting some fairly regular reviews and whatnot. At least it seems like he has been. And I also just posted the Silver Scream video that I just made because that was super fun. Haven't really got a chance to talk to you about it, like one-on-one, because you've been sick and all that. And
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I started the video while I was sick and I fell asleep, and then I fucking haven't. I've watched it, but yeah, I haven't. Like, I made it like probably a couple minutes in. I was like,
yeah, no, I don't
so
blame you.
yeah,
No, I don't blame you at all. But yeah, no, it was a fun time. It was a good time. Cannot wait to do it again next year. Hopefully, if I can manage to get VIP, that would be cool. Because not that I ever really care about doing VIP, but this is something that now will be my third time going to. I figured it's time to try to shoot for the VIP, just to see what that's all about.
gotta up it.
Yeah, because the upscaling of the con itself from last year to this year was nice anyway, but why not go big, So if I can manage to get a hold of some RIP tickets for next year's con before they sell out in a matter of minutes, I'll try. I'm going to do my best to do that. So,
yeah.
Anyway, cool stuff, though. Cool stuff. We got some cool news from Ice Nine Kills, and of course, we got the new Terrifier song coming in a couple weeks. So that's cool.
Let me go ahead and say this since you said the T word. Early reactions are coming out. Positive, very positive.
I had no doubt. I had no doubt people were gonna freak out about this one. So
you can never be too sure. So just the reassurance is good to have.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It was cool listening to Damien and the rest of the crew and cast, because I mean just hearing their stories and how completely different they are from their characters, especially
David Howard Thornton.
Especially David, is like so far removed from art. Like, he is not even close to what art is.
He's a nice guy.
He's a really nice chill guy. Yeah, just really chill, super funny, super goofy, And it was cool. But anyway, one question actually, you probably know the answer to it, but is the Pale Girl not in 3?
I have not seen anything about the Pale Girl, so
she has not been in any of the trailers, and she's also not listed in the cast.
And the 6 character posters that they put out, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, does not have Pale Girl in it. So
that's really weird, because she was very well received as far as I could tell. So
very well received, and was a very, very big part of 2. So I don't know.
Very interesting. I'm not sure what happened there, but I will say that the actress, I forget her name, but when she was
Lauren Lavera?
Huh?
Lauren Lavera?
No, the chick that plays the Pale Girl.
Oh, Emily Macklin, I believe.
Yeah. She was on the panel, and she was oddly quiet the whole time. She was very quiet, she was very reserved. She honestly, and maybe it's just a blur because I was focusing on a lot of the other people, and she didn't really have a lot of talking time. She had a couple points where they asked her questions and stuff, but she seemed like she was kind of in the background really hard, which is weird because there were tons of people dressed up as her. Tons.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, there was 5 or 6 people in the question line that were dressed up as her. And I was like, I don't know, it felt weird. And she did say that she hasn't really ever been a huge fan of horror movies, and this is her introduction into them, which I thought was funny. But she just seemed very off, very, very off for somebody that has a stupidly popular role in Terrifier, So
yeah,
I don't know, very weird. But I haven't seen her in any promotional material, no trailers, nothing. So
it could just be a big surprise, which I'm doing my absolute best to not read anything. Not having Facebook on my phone has been a legitimate blessing and just awesome the last few months.
Nice. Yep. I'm getting there myself, to be honest. I'm getting to the point where I get into just the absolute stupidest shit on Facebook, and I'm like, Jacob, why do you even have this? Why do you even have this installed? You don't need this. You don't need this at all. But it is what it is.
Easier.
I know. I keep telling myself I'm going to get rid of it, but I never do.
You'd be amazed how much time you actually save, because like I would just go through reels or just scroll through buy sell trade and just look at dumb stuff. And yeah, I mean, am I accomplishing anything with all this free time I've made? Probably not, but at least I feel better about myself, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. You know what else matters, though, that you're actually going to appreciate? Speaking of Terrifier, I got Deanna to watch Terrifier the other day.
How'd that go?
She was very quiet at the end. And I asked her what her thoughts were, and she's like, well, I'm still processing, but it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be going into it. However, I know that if it pushes past this like you say it does in Terrifier 2, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do Terrifier 2. And I was like, you already got this far. You already got this far. You're in.
Yeah.
Your toes have been dipped in, dude. You might as well jump, dude.
Yeah, you can't pussyfoot. You gotta just jump cannonball in.
Well, that was the thing I mentioned in my video. You'll see if you end up rewatching it. But I mentioned that being like a really cool part about the Silver Scream Con, because it puts people like Deanna, for example, in a position where they get to see the people that were in the movies, and they get to talk to fans and shit like that love the property. You know, they love the franchise and all kinds of franchises and so forth. But somebody that may be too scared to watch the movie, they can watch a trailer, you know, at home and be like, it's probably not for me, you know. Or maybe I'll watch it, but then they're just never going to watch it because they know in the back of their head, subconsciously, they're like, no, I'm too scared, I'm not doing it. But you hear it from the audience directly, and you also hear direct feedback from the cast and crew, and you're like, you know what? That actually sounds pretty fucking cool, you know? And that's what pushed Deanna in the direction of watching it. And I was like, well, that's fucking cool, you know? I watched Cabin Fever for the first time. That was weird. It was not good. but again, it's just like it introduced me to something I had never seen. Even though I'm going to give Ice Nine Kills credit for that, not Eli Roth, because I wouldn't have given a fuck if it wasn't for a Rash Decision. But
yeah, we need to just get off of the Eli Roth topic, because that turns into me bitching about how he is so overrated for like at least 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay, that's fair.
I just don't get it.
You're not alone in that consensus. I actually looked it up because I know you're not a fan of him, and I've heard a lot of other people say that too, but I didn't know if there was like controversy or some shit, so I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, that's fair, I guess. But I haven't really seen a ton of his movies, so...
No, I mean, you know, like, it's literally just his movies, because, like, he was in Inglourious Bastards as the Bear Jew.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
awesome as the Bear Jew.
Love it.
And then he does, I can't remember what it's called, but he does something on AMC, but it's, like, more of a documentary, like, interviewing people about horror stuff.
I saw that, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's really good, but his movies are garbage. But, yeah.
Yeah, Cabin Fever wasn't good.
Not at all.
Was not good, but anyway. Yeah, Silver Scream. Got Terrifier coming out. Terrifier Song by Ice Nine Kills coming out. Who they did a collaboration with fucking Shavo from System of a Down.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking sick. He teased that at the beginning of the panel too, because somebody had asked him if they have like a dream collab, you know. And Spencer was like, I don't know. I think System of a Down, maybe. That'd be awesome. And then he looks over at the other guys, and the other guys are like, honestly, yeah, System of a Down's probably my answer, too. And I was like, you cheeky motherfuckers, when they said that they worked with Shavo. I was like, you motherfuckers.
They knew.
Oh, they knew.
They knew.
They knew. It was pretty cool, but yeah, pretty pumped about that. Pretty excited to see Terrifier 3. Pretty excited to watch Terrifier 2 with Deanna.
Also, don't forget, you need to eventually watch All Hallows Eve.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have to mess with Ninth Circle or the original Terrifier short, because they're both in All Hallows Eve.
Bet.
So, because yeah, it's
Is that streaming
something.
anywhere, or do I have to download that?
Tubi.
Tubi. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, as far as movies go, that's really all I've been trying to get into spooky season. Of course, we watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark last night. So that was fun because Meg has not seen it. I'm trying to get her into a bunch of stuff. She said we'll take a rain check on the MCU stuff because we haven't touched any of those movies. We're going to take a rain check till after the holidays to start those again. So I was like, that's fair. We got some spooky season stuff to watch anyway. And I was going to start trying to watch the Halloween movies, but they're not on any streaming services that don't require me to rent them that I was able to find. So,
oh God, I can't remember where. Maybe it was. I'll have to look up and see where they're at because I know
specifically 4, 5, and the other ones I haven't seen. Specifically those, because I've seen 1, 2, and 3. I've seen the Rob Zombie ones, and I've seen the new trilogy.
All right, hopefully this doesn't blind me this time. Yeah, I'll have to look it up because I'm pretty sure some of them are on Peacock. Oh, whoops.
All the ones I was finding for 4, I had to rent. So.
Okay. Which one thing that sucks is it used to be. Oh God, what was it? It used to be 4 used to actually there used to just be a rip of it floating around on YouTube. So I know I had it like just saved to a video and made life a little bit easier.
Well, for legal purposes, I'm gonna just.
It's not anymore.
I'm just gonna rent them.
That's probably the best way to go about things.
I'm just gonna rent them.
Okay, so I'll have to keep adventuring through. Maybe it's Paramount. I don't know because I know I saw H2O and something on one of the streamers I have, but the only things that are Peacock is 2018 Kills 2 and 3, and then Blippi's Spooky Spells Halloween.
Nice. Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Love that.
But I guess we should just go ahead and jump into today's topic.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
We are finishing up the Friday the 13th movies, and we've got 7 through 12 today. As I've already told Jacob, I said I was going to try to be more positive this time around, but I've got thoughts. I, of course, have thoughts. And this time, I have a frickin' timeline.
Hell yeah.
And it gets kind of ignorant.
The whole franchise is ignorant. Let's just be real with that.
I'm not going to say that. But the timeline itself kind of makes no sense. Because, yeah, well, we'll get into it. But this is on Friday the 13th fandom. So, I think trusting a bunch of diehard fans that literally this is their life, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna let them take the wheel and tell me when all of this actually takes place so that the timeline makes any kind of sense. But, I guess, yeah. First up, released on May 13th, 1988. Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
Carrie versus Jason.
It is Carrie versus Jason. Now, I said it came out in 1988. In the timeline, it takes place in 1997.
Okay.
So, just keep that in your brain.
Okay.
This movie was made for a budget of $2.8 million, and it grossed $19.2 million. So not the most successful thing in the world, but still made some money.
Yeah. I would say. That's a lot of profit.
All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. Especially if they say marketing is what the production is, so you just double the production budget. Yeah, it made its money back and then some. So made Paramount a little bit of change.
Hell yeah.
First thing right out of the gate, directed by John Carl Buechler, which R.I.P. He's awesome. Whether you watched Crystal Lake Memories, or actually he's in Never Sleep Again as well, because he did some work on Nightmare on Elm Street 4. He's just an awesome dude, and so to hear the struggles that he had with this movie is really upsetting, especially from a specific producer named Barbara Sachs, who John said she is not a fan of horror, so I don't even know why she was there, just to get in the way, basically.
If you're not a fan of something, do not create it.
Yeah,
period.
100%. Stay away from it, which we'll probably talk about something a little bit similar in a little bit.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah, I do got some notes on this one.
Yeah.
I'll start rattling a few off.
Hit me.
I've always liked this prologue in this movie better than 2 and 3's. Because at least it's...
Which prologue was it?
There's a legend round here.
Okay.
It was just cooler. And then it showed, bits and pieces from a few of them, and then more from 6, but not to the extent that like 2 and 3 was, where it was just first 10 minutes of the movie was the last 10 minutes of the previous movie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I like that. Right out of the gate, little girl in the boat. Jennifer Banco, I believe was her name. I hate you, Daddy. And then makes the worst poop face ever. Very, very laughable. And if anybody can inform me on this, when did Lake Forest Green become Crystal Lake again? Because it does. Okay. Tina's mom, she's stupid. Oh, you'll help her, Dr. Cruz. Get the fuck out of here. No, they're not.
No. Dr. Cruz ain't doing shit.
I'm gonna read off this one note that I have because I just think it is funny. Please let me help you with your panties. You don't remember that part of the movie?
No, I remember. That was my face when he said that.
Oh, he didn't say it. He just, these are your panties. Like, it just the rushing over there. Oh my God, her luggage fell apart. I gotta help her.
Oh yeah.
Be a hero. And then,
yeah. Okay.
I was just like, okay, yeah, please let me help you with your panties. That makes sense.
He just picks them up.
Let me help you get these in the bag.
Here we go. Here you go, miss.
I guess a big thing. Jason's overall look in this movie, awesome. That's all the more I will say. Awesome.
Did you like maskless Jason as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'll explain why I like maskless Jason here in a little bit.
Okay.
Because one of the things that John Carl Buechler was adamant about was that every stab, everything, this Jason had to have it. And if you look, and it's way obvious by the time the mask goes flying off, he's got the mark from 4, the mark from 4, the axe mark from 3. So I felt they stayed pretty true to that. But not necessarily with the clothes, because Jason was just solid black this time around. Gloves were knotted in his hand, stuff. But it looked awesome. I mean, the mask missing its bit from where the boat propeller got him in the neck in 6 was really cool too. Yeah, I got it. I legit went through, because when we did 1 through 6, I did not take any notes. I just watched them and was just flying off the cuff after having a bad day. For these ones, I actually sat down and took legitimate notes. So Jacob, if you're lost in the woods, or like lost in a foreign area, and you're like, hey, I'm walking down the road, why would you cut through the woods if you don't know where the fuck you're going?
I wouldn't.
Exactly.
I wouldn't ever do that.
And also, if you and Meg were the only people in the woods, would you walk 4 football fields away from her to take a piss?
No. I'd probably just piss right next to her and just say, hey, keep watch.
Yeah, well, if anything, because my logic, I was like, okay, I'd take a couple steps in the other direction. You know, don't want her to get hit with any arterial spray.
Well, yeah. Not like right next to her, but, you know, like, she wouldn't be out of my sight.
Yeah. Like,
range of sight.
Yeah, so that I still, and you know what? This is starting off a lot like 1 through 6. I already know it. Another thing that's actually really big that they really, really hit on in Crystal Lake Memories is the MPAA butchering the ever-living hell out of every single kill in this movie. I think I sent it a while back. Did you watch the one where they like edited, like they had like the theatrical cut and then they got like the really bad work print version and they edited it like seamlessly so you could still see the whole kill? Oh, dude.
I must have missed that.
I'll have to find that one and resend it to you because the kills in 7 are legit top notch. Like the rich douchebag whose uncle owns the cabin. Like, you know, Jason swings up with the axe and then it cuts away right when it's like, ha! Right here, and you still hear him scream. No, it shows, like, literally the axe, like, hitting him and then just a massive spurt of blood.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I did. Okay, I think I did watch that. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, shout out to whoever did that because, yeah, that was seriously awesome and had to take a lot of time to piece together the way they did.
Was this also the... No. This, I'm thinking of 9. Which one was 9?
Goes to Hell.
Is that the one where the chick's in the tent and he like takes the rod, slices up, and like she just... That's in 9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I accidentally watched the censored version of that one.
Oh, that's...
I don't know if you caught Toby and I's conversation about that in the chat, but this would have been around the time you started getting sick or falling off or whatever from getting sick or something. So I don't know if you caught all that or not, but I was messaging the group. I said, "Hey, I'm finally watching 9 because I needed the only ones I had left were 9 and Jason X," and I sent a picture and I got like a couple kills in, and I messaged the group and I was like, is this supposed to be censored or are like all the kills like this? Because Toby said that this was like a pretty brutal one. And he's like, no, this is like literally one of the most brutal in the series. And I'm like, I haven't seen shit yet. And there's like 4 or 5 dead people so far. So I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, yeah, no, you're definitely missing something because there's something censored there. And so I went back and I watched a kill compilation from 9 just to see what I missed, and I was like, oh, yep, I definitely did not see that in the fucking censored version.
One thing I will say about that, since that one was like early 90s, they knew that it was going to get butchered by the MPAA because they just, like, late 80s, they just went off on all horror movies.
Yeah.
They knew it was going to get torn apart. They're like, we're going to shoot what we want to shoot. No, we have to edit it down, then we're going to release an uncut version later, which... Thankfully, they did.
Yeah. No, those were fucked, and I was like, yeah, I really wish this was in the fucking movie, but... Oh, yeah. And the same thing applies with this, and dare I even say Manhattan. Like, they're just... They really, like, cut the nuts off of them, like, by editing them the way that they had to. It's like watching porn for the plot. Like, what the fuck is the point of this movie if there's not titties in it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's not kills in a Friday the 13th movie, I don't want to watch it. It's like everything cuts out, like, after... Well, she said she was going to pay him for the pizza, but she don't have cash. What's happening? She just walked away, like, wiping her mouth off. How did she pay him? What was she wiping off of her mouth? Why are her clothes all messed up? Why does her hair look like that?
why is there 5 other dudes sitting over there looking just as happy about the pizza as this guy? Like, that is seriously what the editing in these movies did, essentially.
Yeah, it's bad. I'm like, dude. And it was funny because I remember the chick that got sliced in the tent or whatever. I seen, like, what happened to her, but it was, like, everything from the chest down. So you could see just the top, like, right here where she had, like, split. But you couldn't see it happen. I was like, I know a Friday the 13th movie is not going to leave that juicy bit out. What the fuck? So I had to go watch a kill compilation because I was not going to have it.
Hey, at least you saw it. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Couple other random notes. And this one, more of the extended kill. Because the dude and the girl, the sleeping bag girl, we'll just call her that. His kill's actually a lot more brutal in that, like, that edited thing that I sent you. And it was actually awesome because before it's like, oh, Jason... There's a little more to it. And then Sleeping Bag is one of my favorite kills, if not my favorite kill in this whole franchise.
They were beating against a tree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so during
go ahead.
During the Friday the 13th panel at the Silver Scream Con, they had Sean Cunningham, I think is his name, the creator of Friday the 13th, as well as the Jason from Friday the 13th 2 in the potato sack.
Was it Warrington Gillette or Steve Dash?
What? It was. It was. Warrington.
Okay.
They had Warrington there, and they had Derek Mears there as well. And
awesome.
So Sean Cunningham said that was also his favorite kill in the whole franchise. Like, he said it's just funny, and he gets a chuckle out of it every time. And then Derek and Warrington both were like, yeah, no, that was pretty good. And then the person that asked the question was like, yes, that's also my favorite kill. So apparently it's a pretty general consensus across the board that that's just a good kill.
I think now the unedited cut of the kill has Kane, like, swinging the chick, like, we'll say, I think it's like 4 or 5 times. 1, yeah. Two, I think would have made it, like, literally perfect. Just boom, and then just like a little... from the girl in there, and then boom, you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing. So, yeah, just great kill.
Hell yeah.
And then another question that I have about referring back to another instance in the Friday 13th. Why are the houses so close together, and why are they like... like, this is a big-ass lake that is apparently attaches itself to the Atlantic Ocean at some point in time. You figure these houses would be a little bit further apart instead of just a basic driveway separate.
Yeah.
No, that makes no sense whatsoever.
No, there's also, like, I think I heard this in a different video, but, like, it's just odd how many people live on this lake, period, after all the murders and homicides and brutal killings of multiple people all at this lake. I wouldn't want to live there.
Oh yeah, no.
Especially not anywhere close to where the killings happened, and apparently that's where everyone's just gathering up and building their fucking vacation homes and shit, but whatever, dude.
Ignorant all around.
Absolutely ignorant.
One thing that was really good is that the thing that makes this one different is obviously Tina. Laura Parr Lincoln played her. Because, yeah, like you said at the beginning, she's basically Carrie. She can move stuff with her mind and just can royally fuck Jason up compared to just a girl. she's like, oh, okay, I'm going to drop this fucking roof on you. So it was good to see Jason have a legitimate, formidable foe for the first time up to this point, even if it was severely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because Jason himself is severely unbelievable, so it works. Yeah, lots of good kills in this one. The boyfriend getting his head smashed down.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Chick with the party thing to the face, and it makes the little toot. I always chuckle when that kill happens. And then when he goes to kill the stoner, you see the butcher knife that he uses? It's literally a butcher, like, this fucking... It is a big enough butcher's knife to give Michael Myers the world's biggest hard-on on the face of the earth. Absolutely insane.
Is this the one where the dude gets folded backwards?
No, that was in 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
I remember that.
Good example of a completely bloodless kill, too.
Yeah, that one's fucked. I couldn't remember if that one took place in this one or not, but the really preppy chick pissed me off the whole movie. She was fucking
Melissa?
irritating.
Yeah.
Absolutely irritating. The doctor fucking pissed me off the whole movie. Guy was a fucking jackhole.
I wish he would have gotten it worse, too. Because, I mean, using the weed whacker with the saw blade attached to it, which Kane said that was a real tool. They didn't, some, Victor Crowley shit where they made, no, they just found this and is fucking shits all over it.
Yeah.
What else do I have for a few notes? This, despite the shitting on it, I do like this movie. I think it's just funnier to point out the what the fuck moments of it. But the one thing I will say that does suck about this movie is the way Jason gets killed at the end is awful. It is absolutely atrocious. Yeah, big air quotes on that. Because originally the dad was supposed to be like an animatronic fucking thing that grabs him and pulls him in. Now, I'm not saying this would have been better and completely flipped it. It wouldn't have. And then they even had a cool looking makeup done. Still a shitty idea of how to end Jason. But it would have been better than I got some dirt on my face. I've been in this leg for 12 years. Come here.
Yeah.
Just all around. Yeah. All around the end, Jason's ending in this one just sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, wasn't great. Was not great.
But yeah, I guess I don't really have any more for 7.
No.
All right, then let's move on. Let's move on to a Friday the 13th that takes place in 1998. Released. That's the wrong one. Released July 28th of 1989. Jason Takes Manhattan. This was made on a budget of roughly $5 million, and it made 14.3. And yes, Jacob, you are correct. By shaking your head.
I just don't.
So let me point out some positives real quick, because we could shit on this one a lot.
This one was hard to get through.
Okay, so the original poster for this movie was genius. It was the I Love New York thing with Jason slashing through it.
Yeah.
And his head pop. Awesome. But then they almost got sued or did get sued by the New York tourism board or whatever. I forgot to show this off when I read it off. So I forgot all these last time we talked about these. What are some... I'm literally scrolling through my notes, and it's all a lot of negatives. Yeah. I mean, Jason looked pretty good in this one, despite the I'm not a big fan of the yellow mask. The more I talk about the yellow mask, but looking wise, Jason did look good. I think that's literally all the positives I have.
Yeah. I don't have any.
Okay. All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off then. The way Jason was revived in awful. It was stupid.
Yeah.
Freaking the lake is attached to the fucking ocean. Stupid.
How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah. Jason takes Manhattan more like Jason boat to fucking Quebec or whatever. Yeah. Even in the intro, and I'm sure you noticed this, they reuse all the shots. Like, they're like, okay, we're going to be rolling through Times Square. Let's make sure to get these three punk-looking dudes. All right, there's the diner. There's this. Oh, hey, there's that trash can with, like, the toxic waste-looking shit and a rat floating on top. Just lazy. Just so bad. Yeah. Every character in this movie, minus Julius, is fucking horrible. Like, and I give Julius credit because at least he had the balls to be like, okay, I'm gonna fucking fist fight Jason. It's like
the nuts on that man. Holy fuck.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, and considering the fact that he had already had another fight, he was treading water for God only knows how long because, Jason hucks him off the ship, then rode, like, the whole way there, and then they're running around doing, all the crazy shit that's happening. He put up a good fight.
Yeah, Julius is a hard ass.
But, seriously, other than that, every character in this movie sucks. All the kills, like, are not good. Like, the guitar chick, JJ, when like her kill in theory is a good idea, like bashing somebody's head in with a flying V. Okay, I can get down with that. But then later when Wayne trips on her and she has a hole in her head, a hole, not a crushed like fucking face and skull with brain popping out of it. What Jason like? Did they, like, because, Jason swings it like that. What'd he do? Just hold the guitar. Hold on, I'm going to just fucking rail one of the V's in your head so that it makes a perfect hole. Ignorant.
Yeah, they could have easily, like, tested it, too, on, like, a pumpkin or a watermelon. And they would have seen the directional injury that it would have made.
And, dude, it's so bad.
My biggest thing about this one was just what would have motivated Jason Voorhees to get on a boat and then get on another boat to sail to fucking New York? Like, what would cause him to want to do that?
And if the lake was attached to the ocean the entire time, would he have done it sooner?
No. No, he wouldn't have. Because he has a vendetta against the camp people at Camp Crystal Lake. What the fuck does he give a shit about New York for? He doesn't.
And Manhattan. And Manhattan, apparently.
I don't get it, man. I don't understand. It's just, like, where were their minds at when they were like, I think Jason Voorhees should just off some people in New York. I think he should take a cruise and then just kill people in New York. I think that's what he should do.
I will say that I think this movie showed one thing that another iteration did not learn. Actually, technically, I guess two of them. Jason needs to stay in Crystal Lake.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't need to walk to Ohio or fly to space. He needs to stay in Crystal Lake.
Yeah, in Crystal Lake, trust me, as we have seen for 7 movies, I'm pretty sure, has plenty of dumbasses that are willing to go to Crystal Lake to explore or be nosy or just out of sheer ignorance of the area and what it's known for. There's plenty of story to be told there, and trust me, you don't need a whole lot of story for a Friday the 13th movie. So the fact that they were reaching so far to get to fucking Manhattan.
Jason could literally, like, these kids are so dumb that Jason could literally strangle them with a cordless phone.
Oh, yeah.
That is that is how dumb almost every single one of them is.
He could convince them to strangle themselves with a cordless phone.
And last point I'll make about this, because I mean it's obvious, this is like one of the worst, if not the worst, Friday the 13th. So to those of you that are defenders of this, and Jacob, this is my question as well. How?
I'm not a defender.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you are by any. You're definitely spot on with this one. But, like, there are defenders of this, like, avid defenders of Jason Takes Manhattan. I'm serious. I want to know how. Bad writing, bad, like, literally fucking bad everything. Jason looks good. That's it with this movie.
Yeah. Most of the kills were pretty lackluster.
Yeah, I will definitely say, like, not that the MPAA really fucked them as hard as they did on New Blood. I think it would have helped a little bit, but not enough to tip the needle at all. It's like a bad movie's bad. It doesn't matter how good you're killed.
Yeah, this one was rough. This one was very hard to get through, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, that's all I got.
I'm pretty sure on my rewatch, I even watched these out of order, too. Like, I watched 7, and then I jumped into Goes to Hell, and then Remake, then Freddy vs. Jason, then Manhattan, and then I think I watched X last. But yeah, if you're done talking about this shit heap, I am too.
Oh yeah, no, we can definitely move on.
Okay, thank God. All right,
9 was pretty rough too. I think if I remember correctly.
Well, I've got a newfound, like, I don't even want to say appreciation, but. Released August 13th, 1993. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So, one thing that I did before I watched this was I checked out the special features on this. And there was a new interview with Adam Marcus. And just from Crystal Lake Memories, I liked hearing how he talks about movies. So I was like, okay, I'll watch this interview. I was expecting it to be like 10 minutes or whatever. It ended up being, I think, almost 40 minutes. I think it was a 37-minute interview. And it was such a good fucking interview that I literally almost watched it again. Adam Marcus is just super intelligent, super awesome. He actually hearted I made a comment about his interview on, I think it was Killer Flicks on Facebook, because Drum Domes posted that, like, he watched it, and I was like, oh, dude, I watched it like a week ago, and yeah, I absolutely loved the interview so much, and Adam Marcus hearted it, so thank you for that, Adam. It is very appreciated.
Hell yeah.
But this movie does have some problems, and it's not all Adam's fault. A lot of it actually is Sean Cunningham. Because Sean Cunningham told him right out of the gate, get rid of the hockey mask. That wasn't... My movie was about a mother and her child. And so he worked with what he was told. And I still think it turned out interesting, but the one piece of the puzzle that I was missing the entire time was the Evil Dead aspect of this movie. And taking that into consideration, that, like, oh, okay, Pamela Voorhees read from the Necronomicon to bring her son back. Okay, that legitimately makes more sense than what we said about how Jason was still alive between 1 and 2. And that could also explain why Jason just cannot die. Like,
yeah,
they're not cutting him into bits. They're not really lighting him on fire. So watching this as a Friday the 13th movie, I won't lie, I didn't enjoy it like previously. It was okay. Like, it's still better than Manhattan. Like, it's got some really, really good discuss. But watching it as an Evil Dead film made me enjoy this movie significantly more.
Oh yeah.
And especially considering like what they did in, I believe it was 2008, 2009 ish, with the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash, ties more into it. It did make this movie more enjoyable. It's still not my favorite of the franchise by any means. One piece of information that I also got from the interview with Adam Marcus was that Steven, the main guy who was played by John LeMay from the Friday the 13th TV show, that was originally supposed to be Tommy Jarvis from 4, 5, and 6. So I was like, oh. But New Line only bought the rights to Jason and not Friday the 13th, so they could only use whatever was in Friday the 13th. But so I was like, yeah, fucking rights screwing us fans over, because yeah, like imagine if they would have got Tom Matthews back in '93 to play Tommy Jarvis in this one.
Yeah,
it would have definitely made the movie better.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt at all. I think the opening, this is the one where like the FBI blows them to bits and shit, and the fucking chick jumps and does a bunch of somersaults and shit, like in the very beginning. Yeah, that like right after that scene, I was like, it's gonna be like that, huh? Okay. All right.
It's like, oh, where do we go from here?
Yep. What could we possibly be doing with this?
Another thing that I think does hurt this movie is the fact that, you know, we had eight Friday the 13th movies beforehand, and this one changes the formula up.
Yeah.
I think if this idea would have been introduced 3, 4 in that range, it would have probably been received much better than this, because yeah, people are just like, why is Jason body swap? Like, none of this makes any sense, and it's like that's where the Evil Dead bit comes in and then makes it make sense.
Right. Yep.
One thing that this movie did have that the other movie didn't have, because I like Julius, don't get me wrong, I fucking love Creighton Duke though. He is fucking hilarious and awesome.
He's the one that was breaking the dude's fingers in the cell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The bounty hunter or whatever the fuck it was, mercenary. I don't know what they referred to him as, but
yeah, he was a bounty hunter. But like, I'm gonna say a name. Tell me what you think of? Jason Voorhees. I think of a little girl in a pink dress putting a hot dog through a donut. Like,
what? You want to run that by me again, sir? Yeah, when he said that, I was like, I suppose that's what Jason Voorhees reminds me of too.
Like, I never thought of Jason that way, but I think I'm starting to.
You know, okay. If you put the pieces together in a certain way and close your eyes and don't think about it at all, yeah, maybe.
It works, I guess. I don't know. Another thing that was interesting about this one, because all the other ones, Karen was like, I'm not watching this, and then would leave the room. She actually watched all of this one with me, and she pointed something out that I don't know, like, it kept going over my head. It didn't fully sink in. But Jessica, I guess Jason's niece in this one, she is probably the worst fucking mother of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna leave my baby. Oh, you're working? Okay, can you watch my baby in the diner? Okay. Oh, you're gonna put her in a banana box? All right, that's fine. Just put some blankets in there. She's 6 months old. She won't like tip over and fall out or anything. Oh, you're gonna leave it up on the table too? Sweet. Let's make it spicy. Yeah. She was a fucking
moron,
mother. Awful mother in this one. One thing that, like, even I think when I talked to Toby about this, he said something about it too. Is like the Voorhees misspelled on the mailbox, and Adam Marcus addressed that too. He's like, "I'm not the fucking set designer, all right? That wasn't."
Well, it's there now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, people getting blamed for other people's fuck ups. That's life in general.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds an awful lot like working at Walmart.
Oh God. Moving on. Yeah, because yeah, I popped in today and I've got a little bit of a story to tell you.
Oh, good. Love that.
Fucking dumb. But the last thing I will say, and I'll send this one definitely out on a positive. This movie has the best ending for Jason. Like, I guess I should say for Jason, but just ending in general of the entire franchise. And that was Kane. That was Kane Hodder as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I guess I should say, yeah, Jason being stabbed through the heart with too. So, yeah, all in all, this movie, like, if this would have been 10 years ago, but now, like, watching it with the Evil Dead aspect of it in there as well, it does make the movie significant and makes it make a hell of a lot more sense. So,
yeah, I was not overly fond of it, to be honest with you. I did like I did like the Evil Dead aspect of it. Some of the kills were pretty cool after I had gone back and watched them on the kill compilation. Because my dumbass accidentally got the fucking censored version. Big mistake. Don't ever watch any of these censored if you can help it, by the way.
Yeah, just don't.
And then, of course, you already know, I loved my boy Freddy making a little bit of a cameo. That was pretty nice. But yeah, it was definitely not my favorite. Was not my favorite.
Fair. That's fair.
Was a lot better than Manhattan. I will say that.
I will say it definitely.
But most things are.
Oh yeah, this movie did move up in my rankings. Like upon this last rewatch with the Evil Dead aspect in mind, it's still in like not. It's not like number 3 or something like that, but it is definitely higher.
Yeah.
But I guess let's go ahead and adventure into space, where horror goes to die. Released August 26th, 2002. Jason X made its mark on us.
All right. I'm gonna open up with this.
Okay, get ready, Toby.
This is probably the worst horror movie that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to lie, it's probably up there with one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I don't say that lightly, but when I tell you this was a fucking pain in the ass to get through. I mean, it was a pain in every single little cheat. Like, I was trying to take myself out. Okay, I was trying to take myself out and just be like, Jacob, it's not serious. They're not taking themselves seriously. It's just, they're trying to make you laugh. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, no, I'm not going to fucking take that because it's supposed to be a fucking Jason Voorhees movie, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay? So no, fuck that shit. Fuck that. This shit sucks. This shit smells so bad. No. It's fucking stupid. The second that bitch falls down on that fucking drill thing and she says, and the dude says, how's so-and-so? And she says, he's screwed. I was done. I was like, no. You're not getting me with that shit. Fuck no.
Okay.
Miserable. Right.
Well, I'm gonna literally blast through my notes. Okay. There's the kids' spacesuits when they like go to Crystal Lake and find Rowan and Jason.
Yeah.
Whoops. By the way, yeah. Woo. There we go. There's a piece of shit. They look like Star-Lord. They look like Star-Lord. Okay.
I don't know why I didn't make that connection, but that's funny.
I hate every character in this fucking movie.
Me too.
I really, truly do. The liquid nitrogen face smash kill was a very good kill. And definitely top 5, top 10 at the absolute lowest great kill. Uber Jason looks cool. Regular Jason looks obese.
It looks like he's got diabetes.
Oh yeah, like diabetes shitty. This movie, it's all the other Friday the 13th movies. People will be like, oh, they're kind of campy. That was done completely on accident. They're like, hey, let's steer into the skid right off the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
And let's be purposefully campy. And it's so bad it's good. It's not. But it's not good. It's okay. The futuristic weapons look fucking stupid. The CG is god fucking awful. And people say, well, yeah, it was 2002. What do you expect? I don't know, maybe better CG than what fucking Terminator 2 gave us in 1991. How did this film get the budget that it got? This was the biggest budget of a Friday the 13th movie, and it looked the cheapest out of every single one of them. The simulation of Crystal Lake, though, I'm not going to talk shit about that. That was pretty funny. With Jason, like, just literally beating the chick in the sleeping bag with another chick in the sleeping bag and then against the tree. So an homage to, like, the best kill ever.
Yeah.
They took the Jason can't die aspect way too fucking far in this one. And it takes all of the negative aspects that people are like, I hate these fucking movies because of blah, 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 blah. And it's like they did a focus group. It's like, what do you hate about Friday the 13th? Please tell me. Okay.
Write that down.
Okay, yeah. Write that down, and let's find a way to crank that bitch to 11. Like, I can't stand this movie. Like, I really...
I hate to say this. I really do, because I don't want to compare... It is a bad movie as well, but I don't think it was this bad. But Alien 4 is like what I was like, that's like the vibes I was getting from this. And but like obviously I'm pretty sure Alien 4 had a bigger budget. So they have less of an excuse in my opinion. But still, like when I'm getting Alien 4 images in my head, you done a bad job, son.
Okay, so
you done a bad job, son.
Gun to your head right now. Alien 4 versus Jason X. Who wins?
Oh. Fuck. Oh. See, look. Okay. I hate them for different. I hate them for different reasons, but also the same reasons. Like, I hate I hate Alien 4 because it took several celebrities that I love to death, and shit all over their career because of it. Okay, it obviously didn't do them any harm. They're still successful in making movies and shit, but easily some of the worst shit I've ever seen Ron Perlman come out of. Easily some of the worst shit I've ever seen Sigourney Weaver come out of. Easily some of the worst shit that I've ever seen Winona Ryder come out of. Like, there's a ton of actors and actresses in Alien 4 that have attached themselves to that pile of garbage, and it's fucking awful. They had a budget, they had a story, they had a premise, all things that they could have just flowed with from 3 and just done a good job, but they just straight up flipped it and did some crazy, like, fucking Resident Evil action sci-fi shit, and that wasn't fucking fun. That was shit. That was dumb, and it was fucking cheesy. It was miserable. But at the end of the day, there was some cool, like, set pieces and like okay, there were some cool set pieces, but like that was about it. I still wanna fucking bathe in the fucking alien jacuzzi that I talked about, because that would be lit. But still, it was a bad fucking movie, okay? But there's not really any redemption in Jason X, is there?
No. I mean, Uber Jason and the liquid nitrogen face.
I don't know. I don't like either one of them. Can we throw both of them away? I'm getting shot. Just shoot me.
Okay, so
what about you? Jason X or 4. Yeah, it's not easy.
No, I think I would legitimate like okay. I hate about every aspect of Alien Resurrection that you have listed off. And then on top of it, I don't Jason X. I'll take Jason X. Like
I mean,
that's like
yeah. I don't want to watch
that's like saying
but...
which nut is getting blown off with a fucking shotgun right now, and it's like you may as well blow both of them off. I'm not gonna recover from this.
Yep, just get rid of them. Snip them, Doc. Fuck.
Oh, so much for positivity.
Yeah, I was trying to explain this to Meg. I was trying to explain that, like, or no, maybe I was talking to Deanna about it. I was trying to explain to Deanna that I was getting vibes from the 4th Alien movie when I was watching Jason X, and she was like, I don't know what that means. And I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I guess you haven't seen it. So I was trying to explain to her this whole situation, and I think I was talking to Peyton about it as well, and I'm like, holy fuck. Alien Resurrection was fucking rough, dude. That was bad. That was real bad.
Yeah. I will say Resurrection had a higher bar to clear because you look at Ridley Scott, James Cameron, David Fincher. Even if David Fincher disowns 3, the assembly cut's still really good.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like, okay, what are we following? Frickin' Jason Goes to Hell and Jason Manhattan. This had a much lower bar to fucking clear.
Yeah. And it literally shot up into space.
Oh, we're not going to clear the bar. We're going into space to get over the fucking bar.
We're not going to get over the bar. We're going to get over the planet that the bar is on.
And then crash into a space station up there too.
And then blow up the fucking planet as well. And shit our pants and shit everybody else's pants too.
And I'm going to take a shit in yours.
Fuck, it was bad, dude. It was so bad.
Okay, I'll go ahead and say I speak for both of us when I say moving on. Released August 15th, 2003. I was there. Opening night. Beyond excited. Freddy versus Jason. And this was actually the first Freddy or Jason movie that I was to see in theaters. Simple premise. Freddy's recruiting Jason to inspire fear in Springwood. So Jason has to walk all the way from New Jersey to Ohio and then kill kids, and then Freddy gets... Man, if everybody thought I was more of the Friday the 13th movies, I've seen this movie so many goddamn times. Because I remember I saw it opening night in theaters. And then the day it came out on DVD, I skipped school. Watched all the special features. Watched everything. And then I watched the movie probably 4 or 5 times that day. And then that's not even counting any rewatches since. I'm very critical about the Nightmare on Elm Street movies because I love them. Like, I loathe them. And now I'm at a place in my life where I can tell you, I fucking hate this movie too.
It wasn't great.
Okay.
It wasn't great.
Bias completely out in the open. I am a Nightmare on Elm Street fanatic. So, I don't know how you think the Nightmare on Elm Street fans are going to be happy when Freddy's teeth look fucking wonky as shit. And he gets one goddamn kill in the whole fucking movie. One.
Yeah.
Fucking awful.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Ronnie Yu, he directed this, and he had never seen either, like, any of Nightmare or Friday going into directing this.
If you don't know anything about the franchise, don't make it.
Told you that was going.
put down the camera and back away. Back away slowly.
I told you that was going to get brought up again.
Fuck! Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, Frey's makeup's bad, and then Jason being afraid of water. That is insulting to the fan base. Because if Jason was
30 years in the water.
If Jason was afraid of fucking water, then how did we get the ending of 6? How did he kill the blonde chick in 7, who's skinny dipping in the lake? How did he kill Judy Aronson, boyfriend?
For someone that's afraid of water, he sure did spend a lot of time on a cruise in a movie that we just watched.
Oh yeah, and he swam from God knows where they were when they left the boat to Manhattan. Absolutely fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention them taking Kane Hodder out of the movie in place for Ken Kersinger, which Ken Kersinger was in Friday the 13th Part 8 when Jason breaks into the diner and that big dude's that big chef dude is charging him and then gets hucked into a mirror like it's nothing. That's Ken Kersinger.
Oh, okay.
Now, I will say, Ken Kersinger is really cool. I met him in 2000. Really cool dude. Just definitely should not have been Jason. But, looking back on it, I'm glad Kane Hodder wasn't attached to this one as well, because Kane Hodder's got Manhattan and Jason X attached to him. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough.
Some things are really good about this movie, namely the soundtrack, which we've already talked about that and how good that soundtrack is. One thing that still annoys me with this movie is the fact that they actually play Slavery by Spineshank right after Kia dies, which don't... Okay. This is going to be a whole goddamn rabbit hole. Okay, so explain to me physics, Jacob, that if Jason takes a machete and swings it really hard, the sharp end, how does a head not go flying off, but yet a body goes flying like 20 feet into a fucking tree?
I don't know.
But anyway, Spineshank was playing immediately after that, so that was awesome.
We got some kill switch in here as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Slipknot. And
Hatebreed. What is it? The Blank Theory, fucking Typo Negative.
Seven Dust.
Yeah, Cedar. That soundtrack is fucking lit, dude. It
Stone
is so
Sour.
good.
In Flames, Lamb of God. Good God, Jesus.
Yeah, that's why it was in my top 10 favorite movie soundtracks when we talked about that. Check it out.
Check it out.
But yeah, the over-exaggeration of Jason's strength, and it goes the other way too, with how fast and like a ninja Freddy was, made no goddamn sense at all whatsoever. The Gib like dream sequence, that was cool. But once again, Nightmare on Elm Street fan saying that. It shits the bed at the very end, of course, with Jason killing her and the creepy date rapist that looks, and I'm not saying this guy is, but he looks just like him. The lead singer from Power Man 5000. It shit the bed there. Freddy should have gotten that kill. That was just a really good sequence, and then it just got shit on. And God, this fucking movie. The way Will, yeah, yes, we have to go get the hypnosil. It's and Nightmare on Elm Street too. They're calling it hypno. Like, don't I just the way he pronounces hypno. I want to punch in my fucking nuts. Another thing. So this takes place in Ohio, right?
Right.
You lived in Iowa for a while. Illinois here, obviously. I know a thing or two about Midwest parties because I was the Midwest guy that threw them. Midwest parties in a cornfield do not fucking look like a goddamn... You will not convince me otherwise. They do not.
You got a bonfire in the middle at best, and some kegs, and a fuck ton of bush light.
That's and more than likely they are burning fucking tires.
Yeah, and somebody's shit ass Bluetooth speaker that is barely carrying any tunes whatsoever.
Yeah, like out of all the parties I ever had, I think we had or even parties that I've been to that was thrown by teenagers in the Midwest, 2 maybe 3 kegs ever. And I mean, we're talking these were Friday, Saturday, every fucking weekend parties. So the older I got and the more I got away from that, I was like, bullshit, hard. Demon Freddy looks fucking awful. Like when he like shoots out of the lake, it's like, what's wrong, Lori? Miss your wake-up call? Like, I just don't even. It's so awful. And another thing that a lot of people complain about, rightfully so, is how it seems like we can go from Springwood, Ohio to New Jersey in just like a brisk 2 hours max.
Yeah. 2 hours. Just a little bike ride away, don't you know?
This movie just does so many stuff wrong, or so many things wrong. And one thing that's bad, I don't blame the writers for it at all. I really, truly don't. Because they've even spoke out against a lot of the stuff that got changed from their original screenplay or script by the time it got down to what we ended up seeing. Because they're even like, yeah, people always say, like, why did you have them go from here to here that quick? And they're like, we didn't. It like got compressed down into that. And then they're like, we never once said, Jason, do not pin that on us. And I forgot to show that. So I don't even blame them. This movie's just like, it was. I remember I loved it the first night I'd seen it because I'd been waiting since 90. So I've been waiting 10 years for this movie. And I was like, yes, it was. Liked it. Then that sucks. This movie sucked.
Not good.
Yeah, hit him with your thoughts. I'm serious. I could do a whole like 2 hour.
Dude, I don't know. I was not a fan of this the first time I seen it, and I wasn't a fan of it any time after that. But I think it's mainly because I like Nightmare so much that, like, well, I like Nightmare a lot, and I also, the first few times I had ever seen this, had never seen the Friday the 13th movies. So I didn't really care. I didn't really care to know anything else about this duo. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, like, why would Freddy even do this to begin with? Freddy's not a chump, okay? He's not gonna fucking hire somebody to go scare people for him, for fuck's sake. He's just gonna amp the stakes up. He's just gonna fucking make things harder and, like, do a lot more fucked up shit to scare people and shit, you know? But so right off the bat, I thought the premise was dumb, but you know, I think they could have had something. They could have had something if they'd done it a little bit better, but they just didn't. And I don't know.
Also, I'll go ahead and say this to anybody that, like, thinks I'm absolutely dead wrong about my thoughts on this, or Jacob is dead wrong about this. Comment it down below. Let's, like, I normally say let's have a talk. No, let's have a fucking argument, because no. Like, sorry.
We're Team Freddy on this channel, boy.
Yeah, we're Team
Freddy.
Goddamn. If my glove wasn't hanging up right there, I'd take it down and put it on. But let's move on to more of it. There it is. Let's move on to more of a positive. Thank God. Released February 13th, 2009. The Friday the 13th remake. And I already know some people's like, oh my God, more of a bright spot. Yeah, you know what? When I saw this opening night in 2009, I was drunk and I had fun. And I still quote it every day of my life. Who the fuck brings a baby to a Friday the 13th movie? Like, who? And I was that belligerently drunk guy in the theater that, like, I think it was right before, or maybe it was during Willa Ford's death scene on the lake. After she gets hit with the boat and it kind of goes silent, you know, Jason lets down the bow. Then a baby just starts screaming at the top of the... being drunk and belligerent. I was like, who the fuck brings a baby? I'm 21 in this theater, is pissed, and yet you one-up me. You brought another human that had no being that... What the fuck?
Yeah, fuck all that. Fuck all that.
So definitely a knock on the person, not the movie. One of the biggest pluses of this movie is it fixes all the timeline issues because it gets rid of fucking everything. So if you've gotten sick of hearing us bitch about continuity issues, believe me, this completely wipes the slate clean and it actually makes sense. There is more effort of storytelling. I'm not going to say it's obviously like an Oscar-worthy story by any means, but there is more of an effort being made rather than just like, hey, let's get these kids up by the lake, let's have some of them fuck, and then let's have them die. Yeah. Upon this watch of this one, I remember always knocking this one for the kills, and while I still don't think many of them are worth like bragging about, one of the ones that I still love to this day is the bow and arrow kill. Like, Jason hits the dude like going like 35 miles an hour on the boat right in the fucking head. And then just the way he puts the bow down, like he's like, yeah, I don't fucking play around. This is my shit.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love every second of that.
I think the kills and obviously some of the writing obviously were probably a few of the things that like a few of the only things I could have complained about, honestly. Like, yeah, I think that with something as simple as Friday the 13th, and you can even... I literally just watched Sean Cunningham explain that they didn't even know what the fuck was going on when they were recording the first movie. So yes, I do need something simple, okay? They were working it out as they were recording the shit, right? So when you're working with a premise that easy, like, it just blows my mind that you have everything from 2 to Jason X. Like, all of that, they had to stretch so far to get a premise as simple as Friday the 13th, you know? And that's what has always blown my mind about any of these. Watching most of these for the first time during this watch through, this is all I wanted. This is all I wanted. I just wanted a decent production, some stupid ass teenagers having sex in the woods and getting killed by Jason Voorhees.
Fucking juicy, dude.
That's it. Your tits are stupendous. That's it. That's all I wanted.
They were.
Stupendous tits and fucking... I don't know. Whatever the other dumbass fucking line is from this movie. But anyway, actually there's a couple of dumb lines if I remember correctly. But yeah. And that's what blows my mind is that, like, they could have done so much less with all of the franchise and it would have been mountains better than it actually is.
Yeah.
And I think this movie proves it. The only thing it's missing is, like we already discussed a little bit, is some of the kills are alright. But there are kills in the Friday the 13th series, of course, that are just landslides better than the shit we got in this, obviously.
Yeah. They can't all be home runs.
Right. They could have been a little bit more creative, is all I'm saying. But... because that's what we watch these movies for.
We watch these movies to watch kids go places that they shouldn't, have sex that they shouldn't, and then get punished for it.
Yep, exactly.
We're not fucked up or anything.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a true reboot of Friday the 13th, where they start with everything that happened with Jason's mom. I want to see that movie. Okay, and at the very end, I want to see Jason come back because he's pissed that his mom got killed or something. I don't know how the logistics of this would work because I obviously haven't given this much thought, but I want to see him come back for a sequel and then end it on a trilogy. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't want to fucking go to space. I don't want to fucking go to Manhattan. I want to stay in Crystal Lake, but I want it to be done cohesively, starting with Jason's mom killing everybody, and it's like who did it? Who's doing the fucking killings? Blah blah blah. And they don't even have to make it that much of a mystery if they don't want it to be, I guess, because that obviously that mystery's already sailed. But maybe just to reboot it in a way that is going to give the newer generation getting into horror movies an actual cool fucking summer camp slasher with an iconic face on it all. You know what I mean? But
well, the only thing that's in the pipeline right now, as far as I know, is a TV show.
Yeah,
and
I'm pretty sure that got canceled.
No, it's still active. What happened was Brian Fuller got pulled off of it. But they, if I'm being 1,000% honest, they may as well can cancel.
I heard it's like up in the air or some shit. I thought they just canceled it because like no one knew what the fuck was going on with it.
No, they had somebody else come on board, but Brian Fuller did Hannibal, and Hannibal was like literally perfection. And so hearing that he was attached and going to be same position as he was with Hannibal for this, I was beyond excited. It was going to be amazing. And then he got let go due to creative differences, I believe. And then they're like, oh yeah, it's kind of floating. It's not canceled. I think they had a new showrunner for it. I don't know. But yeah, movies happening anytime. Dude. No. Well,
I know Derek Mears, he said that he would love to do a reboot.
Oh yeah.
He said he would love to be a part of a legit reboot.
I said previously, like, it's a shame that Derek Mears to be Jason again, because he was seriously so fucking good. And apart from some lackluster kills, Derek Mears was one of the best, if not the best part about the remake. And that's not a knock on the remake either. Upon watching it this time around, the remake sat a little bit better. I mean, it's got Jared Padalecki in it. I'm a big Supernatural right there. One thing, I guess this will be my last thing I'll say about the remake, because I do genuinely like the remake. The last 4 minutes of the remake are just dog shit, though. You want to talk about me shitting in your pants cross country? That is the last 4 minutes of the remake. Yeah. But Jason looked cool. Like, good production design, some unique kills, obviously some stupendousness and some fucking juiciness. And then, last thing I'll mention. There's a guy in this who literally licks hustlers and fucks mannequins. So just... Final thoughts on Friday the 13th remake.
Oh, man. No, that's I've said pretty much my piece. I just think that... I think that this is... It's just sad that it took until 2009 for them to just kind of, like, pull back. We didn't need the telekinesis from Carrie. We didn't need the fucking going to Manhattan and the cruise ship, okay? We didn't need to go to fucking space, for God's sake, okay? We didn't even technically need the whole fucking Evil Dead thing, as cool as that is. We didn't need any of that. If you just fucking strip it back, make a cool summer camp slasher like this, that's all this is. We could have just been having good ones come out the whole time. But
oh god. I almost fucking puked right there for some reason.
Yeah, don't do that.
Make a pretty killer video or a short.
Jesus.
God, just
in the middle of talking about Friday the 13th, and you just fucking hurl all over your camera.
Yep. Damn near happened. But, yeah, so, Jacob, I am curious for your closing thoughts on not just 7 through 12, but 1 through 12.
So I will say this. My positioning for Friday the 13th in my big three ranking is still the same. He's still at the bottom. I still like Michael Myers more in the Halloween movies that I have seen. I do like more. And Nightmare on Elm Street obviously reigns supreme. All hail Freddy. And this particular franchise itself should have just stopped a long time ago, if you ask me. But I will say I don't mind them as much as I did when I started, especially after listening to Sean Cunningham and the other two people that played Jason. It was cool to hear their takes and get a direct feeling from them as to why these are so popular and how people just have fun watching the comedy that's not really comedy. It's like there is comedy to them because of how over the top it is, but that's what people like about it or whatever. So who am I to judge what people like? I don't give a fuck. Like whatever you like, but not my cup of tea. That's all I got to say. However, if they were to do a reboot, like I had just mentioned, even if we'd skip over the mom bit, even though that would be fucking dope, I would give it a shot. Whereas, if you would have asked me before I watched all of these and before the Silver Scream Con 3, I probably wouldn't have. So, there's that.
He's came around. He's a diehard fan now. Don't let him fool you.
I've got a Jason Voorhees tattoo on my ass crack. No, I'm just kidding. But
I was going to say, prove it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't even looking at the screen.
Oh, fuck.
I will say, for my closing thoughts, when I was younger, I enjoyed these movies much more than I do now. And that's why there's been kind of a flip, because it was always Michael Myers in the basement, and then Jason, and then obviously Freddy's living that penthouse life. That has not changed, nor will it ever.
Yeah.
So even though I don't enjoy these movies as much as I did when I was a kid, I'll show you. I bought the $170 box set of them on Blu-ray.
Nice.
Even if people are like, man, he hates these movies, he just wants to shit all over them. No, it's not that, but there are some glaring issues in about damn near every one of them that nobody ever brings up or touches on that honestly should be. And believe me, if you thought I was being overly critical about the Friday the 13th movies, get to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Wait till we get to the Halloween movies. I am going to catch a lot of heat for what I've got to say about the fucking Halloween franchise. But I will say this, there are a few of the Halloween movies that I have not seen yet. And I feel like they're probably the worst of the Halloween movies. So, maybe once I see these and I stack it up against what I have seen of Friday the 13th, maybe my opinion will change. Maybe I like Friday the 13th as a franchise more than I do Halloween as a franchise. We'll see. No one's touching Freddy's spot, though. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that ain't gonna fucking happen ever.
No, I can replace Michael Myers in that spot, or in his spot, and I can replace Jason in his spot. But I think Freddy just has that. I think he just holds his own. I mean, I think he's just got more of a better rap sheet total. I've only seen up through 5 though. How many Nightmare on Elm Streets are there?
After that, there's Freddy's Dead, New Nightmare. We've already talked Freddy vs. Jason, so when we do Nightmare on Elm Street, we don't even need to talk about that.
I don't want to anyway.
And then the remake.
Oh, the remake's pretty bad too. Fuck.
That is one aspect where I will say, out of the big three, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake
is the worst remake for sure.
Is the worst.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one. Fuck. But as you said, it's out of love.
Yeah.
It's out of love and out of the desire for it to be better, because like regardless of the Halloween movies reboots being better, y'all already know I got some fucking hot takes on those. So it's just out of love, man. I just wish that it was better. I wish it was more fun than it ended up being, but it wasn't. It was awful. But anyway, enough about Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween. And Friday the 13th, for that matter. Fuck it. We are done with this. We're done with this franchise, at least until next year, or until another movie comes out or something. What are your thoughts? What is your favorite Friday the 13th movie? What is your ranking of the Friday the 13th movies? Have you seen Derek's Jason ranking on From the Crypt? Because if you haven't, go check that out. It's a pretty cool video. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Also, if you like this video, make sure you give us a giant thumbs up. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see anything else like this. What else? What do we got next week? What do we got next week? Are we doing something next week?
I think we need to discuss. I still feel like I'm a puke. So I've been kind of a little bit.
Okay. Well, don't do that. We will discuss what's happening next week, but stay tuned anyway, because it's probably going to be fun, and it's probably going to have something to do with something spooky or something metal. We'll see. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Peace.